All right, so the first question here, it says, answer all questions, write your answers in the spaces provided. You must write down all the stages in your working. Write 3 over 10 as a percentage. Whenever you convert anything to a percentage, all you got to do is simply multiply it by 100. If it's a fraction, and it becomes 300 over 10, which will get you 30%. All right, next question. Write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. Be sure to pause in between and then press play. So basically over here, the lowest number here is going to be negative 10, then negative 7 on the number line, then negative 2, we get to 0, 1, and then 8. All right, so write the following numbers in order of size, and it says start with the smallest number, and that's going to be negative 10. Another way of phrasing this question would be if you're starting with the smallest number, you are going in ascending order. All right, so if you see the word ascending, then you know you're going up from smallest to biggest. Okay, so the next few questions over here, we got write 9 over 100 as a decimal. When you are dividing by 100, you move the decimal left. All right, so divide means move the decimal left. So what you have is 9 and a dot, and you want to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, and then put place values of 0 on either side, getting you 0.09. All right, so double check me there. How many times did I jump? 3 times. Okay, instead of 2 times. So that's supposed to be 0, 1, 2. Put the decimal there, put the 0 in front and a 0 there, because 2 zeros means you divide by, or you move the decimal 2 spaces to the left. So 0.09. Round of 327 correct to the nearest 10. Because 7 is greater than 5, this becomes 330. Right, what is the value of 7 squared? That's 7 times 7. That's going to get you 49. All right, here's the next question now. Press pause, try it. When you're done, press play. So what we have over here is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral, remember, it's a four-sided figure. In this case, this is a trapezium. And how do we know it's the trapezium? Because you've got a set of parallel sides. And a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides is a trapezium. All right, doesn't matter if the other two sides are parallel or not. If the other two sides are parallel and the top, then it's known as a parallelogram. All right, so trapezium is the answer we're looking for there. Write down the mathematical name of this 3D shape. Well, if you didn't know, this shape is called a cylinder. All right, and that's the answer for that one there. And trapezium, the answer. Press pause, try this question. When you're done, press play. 42 pounds is shared equally amongst 3 friends. So that's 42 divided by 3. And that comes to 14 pounds. So the answer here would be 14. Press pause, try this question. When you're done, press play. So for this question, Grace recorded the eye color of each of the students in her class. Okay, so there's the eye color over there. And the frequency, which is how much, below shows her results. So how many blue-eyed colored students? 10, 15 brown-eyed, and 4 green-eyed. We can total this up, which is a good idea every time, and that comes to 19. So we know now there are 19 students in her class. 10 which have blue eyes, 15 and 4. She then drew the bar chart below. And she got 10 correctly. She got 15 incorrectly. Can you see that? She got to 16 over there. She's supposed to have that a little bit lower. And then 4 is correct as well. It says write down one thing that is wrong with this bar chart. The bar for brown is at 16, not 15. Press pause, try this question. When you're done, press play. For this question, it says Danny buys one loaf of bread for £1.20 and one bottle of milk for 70 pence. 2 packets of cheese for $2.30 each packet. So what that comes to is the fact that we have $1.15 per packet, right? Because if you multiply it by 2, it'll end up at $2.30. Then he pays with a $10 note. Okay, so he puts this $10 note on the table and he pays. He says I should get that much change. Do you think he's correct? So let's add this up. For the loaf of bread, we got $1.20. I mean pound. I keep saying dollar. £1.20. And for the bottle of milk, I could change that into pound, 0.70 pence. And that's going to be 0.70, like that. Okay. And then I add $2.30, so 2.30. And I've now got to add all of this up. Okay. When I add it up, I could simply just go, if I didn't have to use a calculator, 2 plus 7 is 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4.2 pounds is going to be my total that this comes to. All right, just double check me here if this is correct. So there's one mistake that I've made here. And the thing is, it says here 2 packets of cheese for £2.30 each packet, which means that dividing by 2 was not necessary. And in fact, I should have added another 2.3. So I'm going to add another 2.3 in here. And it'll come to 6.50 pounds. If I take 10 pounds now and I minus 6.50, I can see that 0 can't minus 5. So I've borrowed this becomes 9. 10 minus 5 is 5. And 9 minus 6 is 3. So that's $3. Sorry, £3, 50 change. And it's not £3, 30 change. So is Danny correct? So the answer is no. So Danny is not correct. All right, as the change should have been I'm going to say this right now, £3.50 and not £3.30 for that question. Press pause, try this question. When you're done, press play. Rachel records the temperature in her garden at noon each day. On Monday, the temperature was 5 degrees Celsius. On Tuesday, the temperature was 10 degrees less than the temperature on Monday. So let's see, what does less mean? Less means subtract. So we got to go 5 degrees minus 10 degrees, which means it's actually negative 5 degrees Celsius. And that's using integers, right? If 0 is here and 5 is here and you subtract 10, you end up at negative 5. On Wednesday, the temperature was 3 degrees greater than the temperature on Tuesday. So we got to take that answer, and greater means add. So we're going to have to take negative 5 degrees Celsius. I'm going to have to add 3 degrees Celsius. That becomes negative 2 degrees Celsius. So we got 5 degrees Celsius Negative 5 degrees Celsius, negative 2 degrees Celsius. Find the difference between temperature on Monday and the temperature on Wednesday. So let's write this down now. So Monday, the temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. Tuesday, the temperature is negative 5 degrees Celsius. And Wednesday, the temperature is negative 2 degrees Celsius after we plus 3. Because plusing 3, remember, we just go back this way, we end up at negative 2. So we plus 3 to go there, minus 10 to go there, applying the rule. The question they want us to find is the difference between the temperature on Monday and Wednesday. So what is that difference? In this case, we've got to see how far is it from each other. The difference here is to subtract, definitely. We could provide a value which will show us how do we go from Monday to Wednesday, or how do we go back from Wednesday to Monday. But find a difference between the temperature, basically how far is it from each other. On a number line, if I'm on a number line and I am at 5 degrees, which is, by the way, on the positive side of 0, and negative 2 degrees is on the negative side, I can see that the distance between them is 7 degrees Celsius. So what is the difference between them? And the answer is going to equal 7 degrees Celsius. You could also say negative 7. You could also say negative 7 because the idea is that you could take negative 2 minus 5, which is minus 7 degrees Celsius. Okay. So minus 7 degrees Celsius or 7 degrees Celsius will be correct. Press pause, try this next question. When you're done, press play. All right, so for this one over here now, the pictogram shows information about the number of video games sold in a shop on Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday. Okay. One of these blocks represent 8. So that's 8 and 8. 8 and 8 and 8. That's the key. So this is basically 8 and 8, which is, let's just add it up, 16. This is 8 and 8. That's 16. But now, if this is 8, then what does each box represent? 2, right? Because 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8, which means that this is going to be 2, 2, 2, which means we got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then we got 8 and 2, so we got 10. Nothing here and nothing here. How many video games were sold on Monday, it says? And the answer is 16. For the next question, it says, how many video games were sold on Tuesday than on Wednesday? All right, how many more video games? All right, how many more video games were sold on Tuesday than on Wednesday? So we said on Tuesday we've got 8, 8, and 6, which came to 16 plus 6, which is 22. And this is 8 and 2, which is 10. So how many more on Tuesday plus 12? 12 more. How many more? 12 more. All right, that answers that question there. So we got 12 more over here. We now know on Thursday, in the next part, it says, on Thursday and Friday, a total of 32 video games were sold in a shop. Now remember, on Thursday and Friday, nothing happened over here. But they saying something did happen. It says a quarter of the 32 games were sold on Thursday. So that means if I take a quarter multiplied by 32, it'll come to 8, because 8 times 4 is 32. It says complete the pictogram for Thursday and Friday. So 8 was on Thursday, by the way. And 32 was for both days. So then Friday has to be the remaining part that will add up to 32 for both days, which is 24. So Friday should be 24 and Thursday should be 8. So let's go back there. Thursday should be 8 and Friday should be 24. Let's see if we can draw it in here. So Thursday will be 8. Let's see if I can draw it neatly. That's going to be basically that day. That's Thursday. That represents 8. And then 32 means that I've got to have 8, 16, 24, 32. And that'll be Friday. All right, and I could sketch this with a ruler or maybe freehand if I can draw a line straight. As long as it looks like 4 blocks, similar to the key, then I can see that is a good representation of the answer that they want me to have there. Okay. Can you spot the error, though? There is definitely an error. Can you? There's an extra block here, right? Because I've got 32 in total here, and I've got 8 here. And what does that add up to? That adds up to 40, not 32. So be careful there. This should be removed. And now we have 8 times 3, which is 24, and 8. And now that adds up to 32. All right, try the next question. I'll give you a second. Type your answer in the chat for the next one. If you are watching the video, press pause, try it. When you're done, press play. All right, let's go through this one now. There are 2 drama groups in a school. In one group, there are 36 boys and 48 girls. Okay. In another group, there are 3/7 of the students which are boys and the rest is girls. So if 3/7 is boys, then the rest will be what fraction makes it whole? And that'll be 4/7. Why? Because 3/7 plus 4/7 is equal to 7/7, which is equal to a whole number, or one whole. And says the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls is the same for both groups. So that means that if I have to calculate 3/7 of this and 4/7 of that, it would come up to the same ratio. Is and correct? I've got some answers that says maybe no is the correct answer. But how do we prove it? Let's first write down what we have. We've got 36 as a ratio to 48. The next thing I can do is I can simplify the ratio by dividing both sides by 6. 6 goes into 48 8 times, and I can divide it again by 2. That comes to 3, that comes to 4. Now I have 3/4, which is a total part of 7, which means that this side represents 3/7 of the whole. The next side represents 4/7 of the whole. So is n correct? The answer is yes, n is correct. Because the left-hand side is 3 out of 7 and the right-hand side is 4 out of 7. Suppose you have some kind of chocolate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 components. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 components. Let's see, that's 8. Let's suppose I have some kind of chocolate and I want to divide it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see that this side is going to be 3 out of 7. And this side, 4 out of 7. And that's how we get those fractions over there. Press pause, try the question. When you're done, press play. All right, let's go through this question. It should be more than enough time. So we've got 1, 2, 4. Emma says the next term is 7. Explain why she may be correct. If we add the number 7 in here, what are we doing? We're plussing 1, plussing 2, and we're plussing 3. So yes, that is possibly true. So why would Emma be correct? because we are adding one more than we did before. Basically the previous term and adding one more. And we could also write that there. We could say 1, 2, 4, and 7. We plussing 1, plussing 2, and plussing 3, showing that we understand that. And now it says here the first 4 terms of the sequence of triangle numbers 1, 3, 6, and 10. It says find the 8th term of this sequence over here. All right, so I am plussing 2 over here, plussing 3 over here, and plussing 4 over here, then plussing 5, then plussing 6, plus 7, plus 8, and plus 9. If I did that manually, 11, 17, 24, 32, 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms. As we move on, all right, you can see that finding the next term, what we want to do, it's by adding, in this case, plus 2 plus 3. Let's just make sure we got this right. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 5 is 15. All right, so there's my error again over there. So that should be 15. 15 plus 6, 21. 21 plus 7, 28. 28 plus 8, 36. 36 plus 9, 45. Yeah. So we can see, find the 8th term of the sequence. The 8th term of the sequence is going to be, so let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the answer is going to be 36. Always double check your answers. As you can see, I double checked my answer and I found an error. Always a good idea. Let's clear it up and let me go through it neatly. So if I did this question perfectly, then I'd basically have it like this. Let me space it out. So we got 1, 3, 6, 10. To go here, we plus 2. To go here, we plus 3, plus 4. The next one is plus 5, and that's going to give you 15. Plus 6, 21. Plus 7, 28. And plus 8, 36. And that's going to be the 8th term. That's the 7th term. That's the 6th term, etc. Okay, so the answer here is going to be 36.